What's up, everybody? Here on this Thursday for a Thursday episode of Beyond the Gates that I hope is not as bad and boring as yesterday's episode was, because they're not making it easy to want to watch live. As usual, I will say that I am watching live on Paramount Plus, so anybody watching on CBS will probably be a minute ahead of me, and I will be typing notes for the review later. Lots of Big Brother commercials, which begins tonight. Which once those live feeds start, I'm going to be playing these watch-alongs by ear unless the show improves. I really hope it's not about to get boring for months again. All right, mine should finally be starting soon. And we're starting with Naomi and Danny. Today might be the day that Naomi finally tells her secret. What's up, Franco? Yeah, Angela will be back on Big Brother. Hello, Aaliyah. Welcome back. You think you're going to last this whole episode today, Aaliyah? Okay. I still think this Naomi storyline is so stupid. Andre playing basketball now with his quick recovery. Hello, Marcus. I think she will tell Danny about her gene. Hello, Cassie E. Welcome back. Well, Aaliyah, if you don't last this whole episode today, I might not last either. Hello, Doc Backhand, who says Andre playing ball like he never had a leg injury 2 weeks ago. This is like the sore ass moves Soaps has done for years. Yeah, Beyond the Gates hasn't rapidly aged their kids yet, but they do rapidly heal their characters. Franco says Andre really hooping that quick. Apparently, this must be our one episode per 10 episodes we get the teens. At least we have a Jessica appearance. Still no follow-up to her parents. Tyrell is sprung now that they've been having sex. Vernon's the biggest flirt on the show, besides maybe Haley. Cassie, you talking about these teens? I know Samantha is old. We get follow up to Kat getting her own place. Maybe will we see that place? That remains to be seen. Doc backhand says, Anita looks fierce with that sleek hair. Yeah, I like it. Cassie E says, I know Anita's lucky. Some of us don't get anyone who goes honest like that. Yeah, Vernon B, a big old flirt. Still at his age. Marcus says, Jessica and Tyrell playing pickleball. Yeah. Tyrell would rather pass her his pickle, though, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to do that. Cassie, I think only Samantha's older. Franco says they should have had Anita's hair like that in the first short hair reveal. That's true. Franco says Tyrell is 21 and Samantha is definitely in her 30s. Some days more than others, they do a better job of making Samantha look young. I don't know if it's her hairstyles or her makeup or what, but some days she looks like she's definitely nowhere close to a teenager. Sometimes she still don't look like a teenager, but at least she looks younger. I really hope they're not making another storyline out of a character buying some property and they were never gonna see said property. Marcus says, "At least cat moving and giving grandparents private time back. Yeah, that's a plus for them since they are so horny." What's up, Kaiwan? Andre, you don't even know. Oh, Jacob reading Danny that she's never been comfortable being alone. Hello, Lisa B. Hello, Z Hicks. Welcome back. I'm surprised Naomi hasn't cheated because both her parents have that gene. That's the gene that hasn't been passed down. I mean, I guess I could say at least there's progress in a storyline. I don't know if I even consider Naomi's secret a storyline, but this could be progress. Yes, Kaiwan Danny is definitely projecting about the cheating. Cassie E says Danny's guilty conscience. That's what it is. How long do y'all think it'll be until that secret comes out? How long do you think this show will drag it out? Do you think it will come out in the year of 2026? Because I actually think it will, but they're still going to drag it out. Hello, Chizen, who says Leslie is going back cartoon villain self and harass everyone, and Ted needs to step up to Leslie. It's been a long time since Ted needed to step up to Leslie. Marcus, what are you asking about tonight's Big Brother episode? If it'd be a good first episode, I hope so. I feel like it's gonna be very competition heavy. Big Brother loves their competitions. Hello, Alton Davis, who says, I thought watching daytime soaps again, I thought they stopped doing this. Naomi about to tell, then we go to commercial, really. That's what soaps have always done is have some sort of mini cliffhanger before a commercial. Tyrell must take after his grandfather, even though they're not related by blood, that being Vernon, because he heavy flirting and horny. A tattoo. Oh, Tyrell's gonna try and get them to get matching tattoos or each other's initials. Get a little desperate. Z Hicks says Samantha has matured so much, intelligent young lady. She has. Cat got Anita into podcasts. Is Cat ever going to do her podcast? Of course, Naomi only told Ashley. What's up, Phoenix Rising? Welcome to this watch along. Cassie also loves true crime podcasts. Alan Davis says, seeing a scene for which Naomi comes clean off screen, that sucks. Of course it was off screen. Maybe she'll at least tell Jacob on screen. Phoenix Rising says, Nick, you don't look happy. Today's episode must be boring. It's not quite as boring as yesterday's, but it's still boring. Unless you really care about this Naomi Jean storyline where she's been keeping this secret for way too long for no reason. I mean, you think this secret will do anything to Naomi and Jacob, or same old shit? Phoenix Rising says, okay, good. I have not watched all week. Naomi's boring, and that Jean storyline is old and played out. Yeah, that's kind of the centerpiece of today's episode. I am happy to have Tyrell and Jessica on today because I do enjoy them. That's kind of the most enjoyable people on today. Aaliyah says, I'm not impressed so far. It's not an impressive episode or an impressive week, period. Alan Davis says, if this were a nighttime soap, one would hear more of what was Naomi thinking when keeping it to herself. I mean, I do wish they would have done a better job of letting us know why exactly Naomi thought to keep this from everyone except her soulmate Ashley. Kawan says Naomi finally told the truth and Danny lies. What a switcheroo story. I don't expect Danny to ever tell the truth about her affair. I think it comes out through Trash or somebody. Marcus says, you asked me what was my favorite soap opera over the years. Young and the Restless, like 93 to 99. 2004 to now, Days of Our Lives from the 90s. Bold and the Beautiful 95 to 2000, As the World Turns 95 to 10. I also love As the World Turns. And Days of Our Lives was the soap opera that got me into soap operas because my grandma used to watch Days of Our Lives and Young and the Restless after school. So when I saw Carly buried alive in the 90s, I had to keep watching. Cassie E says, if I were Jacob, I would be pissed because all Jacob has ever done is love her and support her through anything and everything. Jacob should feel some kind of way like, we're supposed to be married. You have this possible health crisis. Why aren't you telling your supposed love of your life? But like, even if Jacob is pissed, I don't think this is gonna like unravel their marriage, which I kind of wish it would. Yep, that's what I thought. Carol doing a lot here, being cheesy, but Aaliyah says Days of Our Lives was my first soap too. When did you start watching Days? And what hooked you? Listen, I do like Tyrell and Jessica. Right? Alan Davis says, "Cat apologize. Shouldn't Martin do that?" I agree. See, Hicks says, Tyrell filling his Cheerios, 18 years old. He's filling it. At least Anita's wanting to sing again. Aaliyah says when Bo kidnapped Hope, was that before or like when she was supposed to marry Larry Welch? Cassie E started watching Days 32 years ago, on and off. Is Amber going to tell him on camera or are they going to go to commercial? All right, she did. Marcus says, I watched All My Children, General Hospital, Port Charles, Passion, Sunset Beach, One Life to Live, Another World, Guiding Light. I watch all at some point. Yeah, I think I've seen a little bit of everything too. Actually, not a lot of Port Charles. I saw like the last couple of years of Port Charles when there were vampires. Hello, Dee Dee, who says, dang, they didn't show conversation with Naomi and Danny. Yeah, I don't know why they had Naomi tell Danny off camera. Cassie E started watching General Hospital in 2006. Marcus started watching soaps in 1987 at 7 years old. Yes, I think I was five-ish when I started watching Days. Dee Dee says Naomi should feel a weight lifted. Yeah, when you're holding a secret for that long. Company Confidential says Brandon Clayton just popped up in our live chat. Cassie E says, I don't think they should get magic tattoos. I did, and we are no longer friends anymore, and I want to burn it off every single day. Oh, wow. That sucks. I mean, yeah, I don't have any tattoos, so I'm not a big tattoo person myself. Kaiwan likes that Tyrell has a sexual appetite. I mean, he should. He's 18. Aaliyah says, I used to watch a lot of soaps because the babysitter watched them. That's cool. I mean, Bowen, are you a big Bo and Hope fan, Aaliyah? That's who probably my favorite soap opera couple of all time. Alton Davis says off screen for Naomi telling her mother, not off screen for telling her husband, then commercial. What kind of TV is this? Even the classic soap fan be pissed off. I mean, I think the going to commercial thing is very classic soap opera. Company Confidential says only my brows are tatted. Lisa B is correct here, saying Naomi would have given Jacob grief if he kept a secret that long from her. She would be ready to divorce exactly, which is why it's very hard to take Naomi as a character sometimes. Doc Backhand also loves Bo and Hope. They're kind of unmatched almost as a super couple to me. Although I really like Josh and Reva from Guiding Light too, and Drusilla and Neil from Young and the Restless. Cassie E misses Passions, who you loved Ethan and Teresa. I can't say many positive things about Passions. Sorry. Confidential says I watched Days of Our Lives because CBS had a strike. When was this? Taiwan says, "Go to college, your girlfriend wants to go." I mean, I totally get how Tyrell feels, and I also like them as a couple. So I do need to see how they're gonna keep Jessica on the show. But with my luck, they'll get rid of her just like they got rid of Lynette. Dee Dee says, "We should have seen Danny's reaction. I guess Danny will run to Bill." I think Naomi said she wants to tell Bill, but I'm sure that is a good excuse for Danny to run to Bill. Company Confidential says, "What about Patch and Kayla?" I like Patch and Kayla too. My second favorite couple on Days was the early days of Jack and Jennifer. Oops. At least Martin is admitting he had a smug ass. Looks like a lot of you were right that Martin would finally have an epiphany when Kat put her life on the line and things almost went wrong. Dee Dee, I don't know why Kat was apologizing. Company Confidential says Frankie and Melissa were antagonized by Nick the pimp and the prostitute Eva. I've never seen a lot of those particular years. That was like late 80s. I'm currently posting and watching episodes of Days on Patreon for anyone that wants to see 1984. Let's see what Jacob reacts. Think this could lead Jacob to Cat? I mean, Naomi has a point about him going undercover because he was all about going undercover. That's all he could focus on. Danny gonna blame herself. Kaiwan says, "My favorite couples are Susan Moore and Alan Quarterman." You love you some Susan Moore, Kaiwan. That I do know about you in the chat. Cassie E says, "I used to love Austin from Days." Which Austin? Because there was 2. Kathy says, "Please no Jacob and Kat." Yes, Jacob and Kat. Give me mess and drama. I mean, yeah, Danny, you're not pretty very good at handling these truths. This is true. Hello, Alvin, who says Naomi is a problem. She kind of is. Cassie, you talking about Jennifer from Days of Our Lives? Yeah, I don't like her either. They also ruined the character a long time ago, which is why I say I liked early Jack and Jennifer on Days of Our Lives. Kathy says she needs a real man, not a man that whispers. At this point, I don't know what they're gonna do with Kat, but anything's better than Tomas. Well, I can say today's episode went by a lot quicker than yesterday's did. I thought yesterday's episode was never gonna end. So that's a plus. The original Austin, then, yeah, he just passed away, sadly. Here go horny Vernon. The only 2 couples on this show that make me smile sometimes are the oldest one and the youngest one. They gotta work on the ones in the middle. Hello, Thankful Daily, who says, I don't think Danny should blame herself for Naomi not telling the truth about having the BRCA gene. Naomi chose to keep that secret because she didn't want her family feeling sorry for her. I mean, I agree. I don't think Danny should be blaming herself. Here they come back, all smiles. Of course, he got a J. Oh my god. Marcus says, I just need one man and Cat. Cat got a man that don't really want her. She does need a new man. Period. I just think it being Jacob being unfair. I mean, that is a soapy storyline if there ever was one. Andre always tries to do a good job helping Danny out. Danny getting upset. I mean, it doesn't surprise anyone that Naomi's secret revelation leads to zero drama. Marcus says Danny's been busy, all right, sleeping with Bill. Facts. Cassie, what's a double mixture man? Marcus says, Andre, too good of a husband getting treated like this from Danny. He really is. But this is how we're supposed to feel. We are supposed to feel very bad for Andre. And like, what the fuck are you doing, Danny? I wonder when they're ever going to get an actor from the show to be in this Tide commercial. Cassie E says, I think deep down Tomas really wants Eva. I think he tried to want Kat so he could advance his career. I don't think he loved her in a romantic sense. I can agree with that. I do think that helped Tomas choose Kat. And Kat, I guess, too new and naive to relationships to figure that out. Vernon haunted this entire episode. I hope I'm like Vernon when I grow up. Okay, that makes more sense. I don't know if I believe him, but that makes some sense. No worries, Cassie. I mean, Danny's right. I don't know why she's getting all worked up with Andre. See, Hicks says, make too big of a deal about Terrell J, not for Jessica, but his mother, June. So he says. I'm not convinced. I don't even know how this was an argument, to be honest. I don't know what the fuck is even happening. Aaliyah says, I feel like Danny tried to start a fight with Andre. Yeah, that's, I guess, what it was. Marcus says, Danny's about to go run the bill. Probably. Now, am I crazy to think that's a little bit of a reach for Naomi to try and do all that without actually having cancer? Would a doctor even try that? Oh, let's see what y'all are saying before I gotta go. Dee Dee says Danny should go to her mother, but we know where she's headed. I will not be watching Danny and Bill. Z Hicks says Danny might run to her magic stick Bill for sympathy. Everyone seems to think she's going to Bill. Dee Dee says, will you be doing a live for Big Brother tonight? No, I will not be doing a live for Big Brother tonight. Sorry. Kathy says, I will be glad when this cancer story is over. Me too, but they seem to be prolonging it with other characters now. Doc Backhand says, Tyrell is such a sap with the J tattoo. A double mastectomy with reconstruction is a safe option. Many do this. Good topic for discussion and information. Not as useless as an episode as I thought. See, I don't know all that, honestly. Marcus says, so Naomi not having no children for Jacob. She's already said she don't want them kids. All right, I guess that's it for today. I'm going to be playing my watch alongs by ear for the next few months, probably that Big Brother is on. I likely won't do a watch along tomorrow, but if by some reason I get the hair up my ass to do it, I will do a watch along. And hopefully next week is better so that I have more of an incentive to do more watch alongs. But as usual, I want to thank you all for joining me because you all are fun to talk to during these episodes. And yeah, I will see you for the review later. And then hopefully some point next week for more watch alongs, but maybe tomorrow too. You know, if I pop into your feed because I happen to do the watch along, we will see. But see you all later.